Welcome to your Voice Your Impact show, where authentic voices spark real change and bold conversations lead to lasting impact.
That's right. This is a space where we amplify ideas, celebrate stories, and challenge mindsets, because every voice matters and every story has the power to transform.
Whether you're a dreamer, a doer, a change maker, or someone simply figuring it out, we are here for you. Each week, we bring inspiring guests, thought-provoking conversations, and powerful insights to help you own your voice and leave your impact.
I am the energetic EJ, a life and transformational coach, a podcaster, and an event host. I work with women who are accomplished to turn their success into legacy influence.
Hi, my name is Olatubosun Fatoki, but many know me as Scott Unlimited. I'm a seasoned compere and orator par excellence, passionate about connecting people through words and purpose. Beyond the mic, I'm a business intelligence professional driven by insight, strategy, and impact.
My name is Grace So Amazing. I am an integrative life coach. I help my clients align their psychological, social, and physical well-being. I am the founder of Friends Lean On Global Foundation, a non-governmental organization that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional well-being. Like,
subscribe,
and share. Welcome.
Yes. Like, subscribe, and share if you are yet to do that. Welcome to another episode on Your Voice, Your Impact show. This is the energetic EJ, and it's a pleasure to, be here again today. I know this week has been packed full. We had a session on Monday. We had another one yesterday, and yet again today, we're having another session. And I'm so delighted because we have a lot of men that are speaking to the subject matter of men's mental health, because November is the month dedicated to mental health for men. And there is the movement called the Movember movement, which is a combination of the mustache and November to create more awareness about men's mental health wellness. Okay, so yesterday I was solo because my co-hosts were not available, but today right now I have one of them, and we're just going to give you your intro before we bring on our guest today. Hello, Mr. Scott. How are you doing today?
Hello. Good afternoon, EJ. Good afternoon to our viewers. I am doing great. It's my pleasure. I'm honored to be part of this, to another wonderful and impactful conversation about men, and in line with our aim of bringing awareness to men's mental health for this month of November. It's my pleasure once again to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so excited as well that we have a lot of participation in the current 60 for Men challenge. And I love that we have both men and women speaking to this topic. It gladdens my heart, and I'm so happy. So, you've been getting some of these people on board. Has there been any feedback back or behind the scenes around this particular subject matter and lending their voices to it?
Oh, well, in fact, personally, I'm so surprised to see the turnout, because I could remember when we came up with the idea and said, oh, we want to go beyond just bringing awareness. We want people to participate. We want people to join us in also extending the awareness further and encouraging men in their life, lending their voice and all that. We didn't even know it's gonna, blow up this much, and people would be turning out from different parts of the world. In fact, from different parts of the world, lending their voices and just joining us to make an impact. And in the back end as well, so many positive feedbacks. I can even see that some of the videos we've posted are being shared. So that means when people see it on our page, they forward it probably to someone in their life or someone that they believe that needs such. So it's positive, and it gladdens my heart too.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it, and I'm grateful that We also have men, not all the time. You have men who want to, men just want like, I beg, you people, you know how to talk too much. You women, just stay. Let us be, but I'm really grateful that this year is a little bit different. We have a lot of men that want to speak to the topic. And so today we're talking about breaking the silence, finding the courage to speak up as a man. And taking us further in this conversation today is a CEO himself, a leader of other leaders, and he's been on that journey for quite a decade now. When I was reading his profile, like he came to the UAE in 2015. It's the first Nigerian-owned real estate company in Abu Dhabi, and he's been doing that for 10 years consecutively with great reports and excellence as part of his branding, himself and his team. And so, I could wonder, okay, why are we speaking to a CEO? Well, because a CEO is also a man, right? This CEO is a man, and he also leads other men and women. But of course, it means that from the standpoint of being a business owner, there could be some pressure that he's also undergoing. So how does he do it? And based on his interaction with other men as well, because I also know there's something particular about this guest of ours today, which is that I know he has his own man cave. I follow him online, so I know a little bit about him. I know he has his man cave. And one thing I love about his clique is they actually take time to spend time together as a group. Sometime last year or earlier this year, they all traveled from all over the world to spend time together in a particular country. And we saw a highlight of that. And it was just beautiful seeing men from school days. Like, that is gorgeous, right? Like men from their uni days coming together from their different part of the world. Some are married, some are not, but all these men coming together to just spend time together over a period of time. And it was so emotional when they were about to leave and they were giving all the hugs. I'm like, this is so sweet. This is so sweet. So it's gladdens my heart that we have our guest today who's going to speak from his own perspective, but also from life generally, on how to break the silence as a man and how to find that courage to speak up as a man. So without further ado, I have the pleasure of bringing on this virtual stage today, Mr. Olatubosun Fatoki. Hello, Mr. B.
This hype is on the next level.
It is well deserved.
I think I need to hire you now. If I'm going for events, you just do my intro everywhere.
Yo, bring it on, boss. I'm here at your service.
It should be for 0.5% of whatever I'm being paid.
I don't mind. As long as something enter the account. We're good.
Good to be here. How is everyone? Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Scott. This is my G from. We gossip every day. Yes,
why are you casting me now?
Forgetting the fact that we are thousands of miles away. It feels like we are next to each other. We talk almost every day.
Right.
So I'm excited. When you guys reached out to me, I'm like, he told me something when he reached out. He said, "I know you can't say no," and I just said, "Oh, of course, I can't say no when it comes to you guys." And I mean, it's a privilege to be here again. I'm excited, especially for a topic like this. I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely, and we are glad to have you here. To get into the conversation, I want you to talk to us about, when you hear the this month is dedicated to men's mental health and all of that. When you hear mental wellness for men, what comes to mind for you personally? What's your own, maybe based on your experience or based on your general interaction with fellow men? When you think of mental health and men, what is it that comes to mind for you?
It's a very deep topic, honestly, and it's a very deep. When it comes to men's mental health, I feel like this is one very important thing that we don't pay more attention to enough. generally, I mean, they say men, from time immemorial, we are built to stand pressure and the test of time. They always say, as a man, if you are born as a man, the world life is already leading you by two goals. So you need to first of all fight to play draw before you win. So it's a whole lot when it comes to men's mental health. I think that's what forms a man, and I think that is basically what forms a man, because there was a time I met with one of the New Yorker big bestseller, Steve House. We were talking, and he asked me a question that, who do I love the most? He asked me that question, and I said, oh, my son. And he told me, nah, you're missing a point. That it's only when you are mentally okay that you can love your son the right way, and that's the same way your son can love you as much as you want. So what comes most to you, what's most important to you is your mental health, is you. As a man, you need to be mentally okay before you can always love people the way you want, and before people can always love you the way you want to be loved. So it's a very very important topic that we don't pay enough attention to. I was watching one of the highlights of this show, and I saw where Scott was talking about the figure, the data of men's mortality yearly, and it breaks my heart to see that despite this figure, it's still not being paid attention to enough. Like I just heard today that today is World's International Men's Day, or something, and I mean, it's nowhere to be seen. I mean, it's nowhere to be seen. Nobody knows about it. Even the men, we the men ourselves, I don't think a lot of people know about it. So it says a lot about how the world has not recognized or pay more attention to men's wellness. So yeah, it's when a topic like this is being brought up, a word is not enough to even describe it. It runs deep, it runs long. It's not something you can just put a word to, but it's really 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 important.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, intro. And it's true. It's true. Like, I mean, even though we are also, on this journey, we're yet to make any post about, International Men's Day. It's something that we do yearly, but like you said, it's almost as if it's so quiet. If we're other, whatever, we would have been hearing from, like, for example, International Women's Day, you would have been hearing it from beginning of March until the whole of March.
The numbers of Women's Day, Mother's Day, this day, that day.
Right.
Maybe there are different versions. There's the Islamic version, there's the version, there's everything. So before you sleep and wake up, there's a Mother's Day somewhere. There's an International Women's Day somewhere, and it goes on and on.
There's also an International Mother's Day.
Do you get?
Every 2 AK market days there is something.
There's always something to celebrate, and it's a good thing. Honestly, it's a good thing to celebrate women. It's a good thing. Women are wonderful, and we can't take that away from you guys. It's a good thing to celebrate you guys, but I mean, you guys should share small for us too. I beg.
Like you said, now you talk. I'm just now say even with the men, una will be the men. Una no. Like, are you people waiting for us to say, like, you to carry it on your head? Because we as women, we carry it on our head too. Sure, you get.
You see, you can't. We are wired differently. Yeah, we are wired differently, and they said women are the emotional being, men are just logical, right? We are all around. We men are just waking up. Okay, what are we facing today? What's today? Like, a woman forgets a man's birthday, the man will be like, it's not a big deal. Let's move on. It's fine. But I dare you to forget your woman's birthday. That is,
you will pay fine.
I mean, a man could reason along and say, you know what, it's not about this. It's not about this. I mean, let's just let it go. But so yeah, it is what it is.
Well. It is what it is, but okay, so let me pause here and just acknowledge it. Happy International Men's Day To all the men out there, we celebrate you really. And I know that, yes, we don't do it enough, but we are working towards it to do it more. As you know, Bosun just said that, you know, as women, we are more attuned to remembering these things and actually being the one to carry it on and celebrate it. And I think honestly we can do better when it comes to celebrating men. I mean, also it's like earlier on in the year it was International Boys Day, the day of the internet, and it was just it was quiet. But then when it comes to the International Girls Day, like there's a lot of stuff going on. So we know we need to do better, and we are working on it, and we're doing the bits that we can. So happy International Men's Day to all the men out there. Happy International Men's Day to you, Mr. Boston. Happy International Men's Day to you, Scott Unlimited, and to every man who is watching this. I'll now pass on the mic to Scott, and then Gracie, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Hi, Grace.
So, I mean, this is every. Okay, let me allow Grace to, you know, give her shout out as she just came in. Right? Okay. All right. So for me, you see, every single conversation we've had so far in this month has been special for me, has been personally, you know, enlightening and impactful for me, because there are so many layers when it comes to the man, that even so many perspectives, in fact, when it comes to men and men's mental health, that personally I've not even ever taken time to look at or discuss within my circle or with anybody, but that the people that we've had on the show have taken time to talk about. You know, one of them was when we had a discussion about men's mental health, but about he himself, how he, you know, how he causes himself to fall into the trap of negative mental health situations, right? But to continue, there was a lot of, you know, nuggets from that event. From that conversation, whoever is watching and has not yet seen that, I'll encourage you to see it. Now, to Mr. Bosun, I'd love to ask you, in your journey, for someone like you, you're into so many things, and you have a really huge, you know, community. You've got people you work with. You've got an extended, number of friends. Now, has there been a time for you with all these people around you? Has there been a time for you where you had to hide something? You know, where you had to stay silent despite being in the middle of so many people. So, has there been a time where you had to hide something? Why did you hide it? And how have you come to, become opening to? How have you come to open up more? How have you broken the silence?
Thank you very much. There has been 1,000,001 times. Well, I'll tell you, there have been 1,000,001 times that I've had to stay silent, despite the fact that people call me, they connect to a lot of people, because I have a lot of people around me. But it's one thing to have a lot of people, it's another thing to have a lot of people, if you understand what I mean. There have been a lot of times that I have stayed silent, and naturally, first of all, this is how we men are wired. This is how we were brought up, to take it in and find the solution from inside. And I would say that one of the things that personally, one of the things over the years, one of the things that have always made me silent about things is I don't like to be told a no, or to be given a negative feedback when I share something to someone. Because I have this thought that, okay, if you cannot do something about it, even if it's from your words or something, you've already seen my vulnerability. And it could be, I don't know, human being could be human being. Something could happen tomorrow and you could weaponize whatever it is against me. And that's talking from a personal perspective over the years. However, I think I outgrew that, but I would say that a lot of the reason why we keep silent about things and not just talk to people is we find it difficult as men to let people see our weakness. to let people see how we think dealing with things make us look weak, make us look not capable enough. And again, we struggle with vulnerability. And this goes to finding the right people around you that you can actually trust and depend, and you know that, okay, you know what, with this person is my safe space. Men hardly, before a man comes out to say that, me especially, over the time, I have my people. I have people that I know that, oh, okay, regardless of what happens, this one is my own. I am always safe with it. But a lot of us men don't have this. So this personally will make me personally keep to myself. I'm like, you know what, I can handle it. I'm built for this. But sometimes you wake up and you see that there's only so much that you can have personally handle, mentally especially. There's only so much that you can handle. So yes, I would say that I don't really blame people who fail to open up, especially as men, because what's break people the most is weaponizing whatever it is that you have spoken to someone about against you personally. I would say personally. I mean, if I trust you enough to open up my whatever I'm going through with you, I'm not only looking for a solution, I'm looking for a safe space, I'm looking for solace, I'm looking for someone to hear me, right? It's not necessarily for you to provide me a solution, but you see, that's listening ears and me believing that, oh, tomorrow, even if relationship goes wrong between us, I want to be sure that, oh, my words are safe with you. And I've seen betrayal a lot of times, especially about confiding in people. And if you think, they said when something happens first time, it's an accident. When it happens second time, it's a coincidence. When it happens the third time, then there's something. So when something has gone over time and you've experienced things like that, you want to just, withdraw back into your own shell and just feel you can handle it the best way you think you can. And now another thing is, because I handle it in that way doesn't mean another man can handle it in that way, right? So I think it's not a one cap fits all. Like the major problem about not speaking out is that vulnerability. That's not been seen as being weak, and that's not weaponizing the fear of being weaponized. Whatever it is you discuss with someone is being weaponized against you is one thing that, I mean, that makes me
That
go silent
causes
about a lot of
people.
things. Yeah.
I can imagine. And honestly, with that, I really don't even think is. I feel like this applies to every human, right? Because nobody wants to be, what's the word now, backstabbed. Nobody wants to be rubbished, right? But it almost now feels like maybe the fear is bigger or is more in men than women, because women, like, if you do me one, I do you 5 times 5.
Exactly. Exactly. And with women, if these things happen between women are very emotional. Something can happen and out of nowhere you could burst out and say whatever. You still get grace. But when a man
Right.
shares something with you, it is, trust me, it is always it's coming from a place of vulnerability. It's coming from a place of, a lot of time it's coming from a place of shame.
Already.
A lot of time it's coming. So if I'm able to find confidence to share my shameful moments or my embarrassing moments or my vulnerability, my weakness to you, I find you worthy enough to keep it
Keep it.
or with you, or maybe probably just speak to me about it, rather than you now. I mean, something goes south between us tomorrow,
And
and
the whole world.
you know what, and I'll tell you what, from looking at it from a business person point of view as well, it's even more trickier, because you see that tag CEO, the weight that it carries and the way people think. A lot of time people think, you know what, you are at the height of it. You don't see that, you don't need nobody. You don't so it makes it a bit, being in a high position sometimes makes it even a bit difficult to share with. I would say that in 5 years of Crest Range Properties, I've only seen one person that actually sat me down, invited me for coffee, and sat me down and really said, "Bosun, how are you?" Like, oh, I know when it comes to being on this stage that you are, a lot of people think you don't need help anymore. You know, when someone speaks to you in this way and you look around and like, wow. So there's actually one person that still understands what it feels. But it's good when it comes from people, because when it comes from you, it's very hard to believe. And people will be like, if who asked you work? Who asked you to go and do this? Who sent you to go on this journey? So I mean, in order not to avoid such statements and all that, you have to stand your ground. Like, okay, I'm built for this. I'll deal with it. So you know what, and a lot of people don't know that. See, when a man is mentally not okay, he looks around and find the best way to deal with it in himself. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care enough about people around him or trust people around him enough to share with them. But first of all, our upbringing says it all. Man is this, man is that. It's okay to cry sometimes. It's very okay to cry sometimes. It's very okay to look at the ceilings and say, you know what, I'm not okay. But does the society also allow? No.
It's a lot. It's a lot of weight on you, man. All right. I'll pass the mic now to Gracie. To ask her question.
Hi, good afternoon from my end.
Good
And
afternoon.
I was just listening, and the first thing that came to my head when you talked about men not being vulnerable because of shame and things like that. No, even before that time, that why are men not celebrating themselves? That they don't have time, they shouldn't. Women do that often. And then what came to my head? Do you belong to any football club? Do you have a football club that you celebrate?
That's one of the few ways we unwind.
Okay. So I
For
asked
someone
that
like
question. Okay, go on.
For someone like me, football is one of the ways I get out of this mental stress. I'm a diehard Arsenal fan.
Okay.
And I love football.
Up Gunners.
Yeah. Okay. It's all right. And I like.
Sincerely, that's one of the escape routes. I won't lie to you. I mean, right now we are looking forward to, thank God, the weekend is back. Football is back. At least we're getting out of that space. I'm just going to sit down, watch football, discuss football, do anything football, and just forget about whatever. It's one of the ways. And that's the same for a lot of men. Trust me, a lot of us, one of the escape ways is just watching football. Do you see that moment? It takes away everything. It takes away everything.
Yeah, the reason I started with that, because I just knew it was going to evoke an emotion. I do it every time, and that's where I catch men when they say women are more emotional. It's just that priorities and all of that. So my question to you is, what then should men do if they are afraid to be, if you were to say out of the blue, as someone that has created a business and someone that has been able to deal with some of these challenges that you've been through, personally, professionally, and otherwise, beyond talking to someone, what other ways do you think that one can be vulnerable in a way, men especially, how can they be vulnerable, or how can they deal with issues in when it concerns their mental health? How can they deal with it when it comes to their mental health? How can they deal with issues other than speaking to someone? What do you think would be your go-to as has built a business and someone who runs a family? What would you say?
Well, I would say that it's relative. I mean, like I said initially, that it's not one cap fits all for everyone. I believe, first of all, every man has designed a way of escape of mental health issues for themselves. So what works for me that might not work for someone else, right? And one of the good things about helping ourselves with mental health is gathering together, having around your right people, your right friends. Just like EJ mentioned earlier, I remember earlier this year when I traveled along with my schoolmates, and we went for that vacation. It actually it was what's much more than therapy. Being in the right spots with, because these are guys that we've been friends since 2020, 2020, 2021, 20 the 20 no 2000, 2001. And some of us had not seen each other for 8 years, 10 years. We only connect over the phone. And I think they said your childhood friends are your best friends if you're able to keep them. And I think one of the things that I have realized over time is being around the right people, being around the right friend. I remember when we went on that vacation, there was a night. I mean, we didn't have plans of having any discussion. We just sat down, round tables, just started to talk around 8 p.m. and we spoke until morning. And when I say we spoke, we were not just gisting and laughing. Everybody spoke about their issues. So the point that some of us were crying. Like, people have not had that kind of chance to actually speak out and be understood, and for people to actually see that, oh, you are not alone. I feel I'm the only one carrying this. So it's I think it's having the right people around you, the right kind of guys around you, that you know that, oh, these are my safe space, and I know that these people will never judge me wrongly for whatever it is. It's an escape. It's one of the ways to actually deal with your mental health situation. I mean, even if you guys are not together, the bond that you guys have built during that period, we always, now we have calls almost every weekend. We get on Zoom call, WhatsApp call, just to discuss, just to talk about life, talk about what we can do, and talk about challenges. So we found safe space amongst each other beyond just the. So if I'm going through something, I can easily call, even if all of them are not available. I can easily call when I like, guy, we need to talk. I'm not okay. This is what I'm dealing with. And it's not him giving me a solution. It's the fact that there's someone that's listening to me and that could really understand. And one thing I like about this kind of people is they tell you where you are wrong. They always say, when you see two friends go inside and come out and they're laughing, the truth has not been spoken. But when you see two friends come out of a room and they're frowning, that means they've spoken the truth to each other. These are the kind of people that you want to have around you, that, you know what, I know you scold me where I'm wrong, you're going to be there for me. So I feel one of the ways that I personally have designed is, I think I'm being blessed to have this set of guys around me that we know that we can easily call each other and say, let's just talk about, regardless of how wrong I am in whatever I do. Yes, I'm wrong. You're going to tell me I'm wrong, but you're still going to listen to me and still be there for me, regardless of. So finding the right people is another way of getting out of a mental health situation, because at the end of the day, you need to speak out. you need to speak out. At the end of the day, you need to speak out. And one thing I've noticed personally is anytime I get a chance to speak out the deepest vulnerability, there's this fresh breath of air. There's this feeling that you cannot explain that, okay, you're not providing solution for me, but because I'm able to speak to you. And one thing I like about this kind of people is they don't validate you. No. It's not about validating you. It's about telling you your truth. Okay, this is what I think you've done wrong. This is where I think you should do right. You know, so when you have this kind of people that when I go to them, it's not about me looking for a kind of validation to wherever I think I'm right about something or whatever I think my situation is. It's me going to them to listen, this is what is going on with me. Let's talk about it. So I think we need to also understand that there's a difference in speaking out as a man to people to seek validation and speaking out to them to actually get people's rights, the right words you need at that time. If you have to scold me at that time, let us talk about it. I've had times that I'm speaking with some of my friends and we've had to end the call on ourselves. Like, you cannot be speaking to me in this way. I'm the one that came to you. By the end of the day, 2-3 days later, he's texting you that, oh, guy, are you okay? Yeah, let's talk more now. Okay. So these are the kind of ways that I personally have, I know that regardless of whatever I'm dealing with, I know I have a few people around me that I know that if I speak to them, they were able to hear me. Keyword, not to provide solution, but able to listen to me, hear me, and say, okay, this is what I think, this is where you've wrong, this is where you're wrong. I think every man needs this. And again, it doesn't have to be just in a man. Trust me, there are women that have the heart of men, that regardless of whatever you tell them, they will chest it. And they'll tell you, Oga, it is, oh yeah, this is. So everybody needs this kind of people in our lives. It's not about, it's not gender related. No, I don't believe it just have to be men. No, I don't believe in that. But like I said, everybody, it's not a one cap fit all. It's everyone have to find a way, as a man or as a woman, whatever, to find a way to unwind or to deal with things that affect our mental health. There are times that you wake up in the middle of the night and you just look at your ceiling like you don't want the day to break. It happens to me a lot of time. And I know it happens to a lot of people, a whole lot. So, and again, when you hear other people speak about their own, then you know that, okay, my own is just a child's play. That's what they said. When if we all throw our problems in the buckets, when you see other people's own, you pick your own and run. But how do you know if you don't speak out? So I believe speaking out, especially to the right people, I mean, even me, myself, we are all human. Sometimes it's all blood and vein flow. It's all blood flowing through our veins. So sometimes we could mess up by not protecting people well enough. But we all need to do better. We all need to do better. At the end of the day, we all need to do better. It's not even the closest disciple to Jesus Christ betrayed him. Right? And it was warned ahead of time that you betray me. He argued, never going to happen. So if it could happen in time immemorial, so who are we now? So we should learn also to give people grace. I think that's also important as well.
Okay. Grace is still on?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Just Scott, sorry, before I pass the mic on to you, I just remember what you shared now is a confirmation of what another guest shared. So it's beginning to look like, okay, if you have that good company, if you have good friends around you, it would really help. And then I like the fact that you said at some point you still have to break the silence. You still have to
Mm-hmm.
break, no, choke you. While you were saying that, a very popular person came to mind, or someone, a top, not a celebrity, but I can't remember, but a very top person that, committed suicide sometime in Lagos. And, he had everything. He had it all. So when you were speaking, I just remembered what someone asked, and they wrote that it's someone that likes to, he doesn't talk, he doesn't really have friends, he doesn't talk, he's always to himself, he's always, and all of that. So and statistics continue to show how, when you break the silence, and when you're able to be vulnerable, how it reduces a lot of things. Please, this last thing I want to add again, around, you said, I wrote it somewhere. Yes, and most importantly, as a man, what I caught from what you said again is that people need to be trustworthy and should have that level of integrity, so that people can be vulnerable to them. I went for a workshop, and the teachers were I went for a training, and the teachers, they sent a message to me when it was Q&A. They sent a message, and some of the teachers wrote that, I'd rather die than share my pain with any of my colleagues, because it's going to be the topic in the staff room. Very interesting. As funny as it is, which is mostly the problems we face, because people will talk about us or make jest of us and everything. I answered them very quickly that by the time they are done talking about you, they will face their own. It's not everybody that can stand that they are talking about them. But as human beings, we know that one thing go touch you, sha. As long as you have lungs under your nostrils, you can go about talking about somebody, laughing at them, and then after a while you just catch yourself that, this situation has almost become my situation. So we like to throw it out there that, be easy on how you mock someone. Be easy on how you use their story to tell a joke. Be easy, because if it reach your turn, so I just decided to share that, because it's very critical, and that's what we hear all the time, that people are worried and afraid of. Over to you, Scott. Thank you so much, Mr. Bosun, for sharing.
You're welcome.
Well, I think what I wanted to ask still aligns with what you just said, Grace. So amazing, and I picked that from what Bosun has said so far, because to an extent, I can also relate on a personal ground. It's not very easy to speak up. And now that's why I want to ask Bosun. So obviously, the reason why majority of the men do not speak up, majority of the men do not feel comfortable to get vulnerable, is the issue of trust. Now, how do you identify that, okay, this person has enough level of integrity for you to open up to them? How do you establish that, okay, this person is trustworthy enough for me, I can actually talk to them, I can actually, share my burden with them? So how do you go about this?
Well, you are very correct about this, because I'll tell you what, I always say this thing, that because you are vulnerable to me doesn't mean I'll be vulnerable to you. Because you are able to tell me your problem doesn't mean I trust you enough to tell you. I've been in situations that people have told me, oh, this is what happened to me, blah, 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 blah. And I am in the same situation, and I will not say, oh, I'm also there. Now, you trust me enough to share it with me, doesn't mean I trust you enough to share mine with you. However, I feel this is, for me personally, I think spending time enough with some certain people and the conversation we've had, the friendship we've had over time has given me that kind of that safe feeling that, oh, okay, over time the relationship has been there for quite some time. I've known what we both dealt with together and personally over the years. I've seen your personality, and when you're comfortable to share something with someone, you will know. But does it say that they cannot betray you over the end of time? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So there's no 100% perfection in terms of getting the right people to speak to. The people that you think are the best you can speak to might end up being the worst. But at the same time, I feel for me personally, the long-term relationship I've had with people, the conversations we've had, how vulnerable we've been to each other, knowing each other over the years, knowing each other to the point of knowing. I mean, for instance, when I was on vacation with my friends, we all got on the phone with our parents. Like, we all brought our parents on call, so our parents were like, "Oh, this is you." They still know every one of us. So the friendship has been for years. For our parents to still be able to identify all of us and say, "Oh, they remember when we come back from school, way back at secondary school, coming back home together, spending time together." And so I've been able to build this friendship over years with these people, and we've gone through a whole lot together back in the days, even up till now, that has given me that level of comfort to know that, okay, you know what, these people are the right kind of, you will feel it, you will know it. The way they've come through for you, the way you've come through for them over time, you give me that level of comfort to say, okay, you know what, I can share this with this person. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to be just men. I've seen people that are friends that they could discuss a whole lot of things with each other. The most important thing is for everyone to find that safe space in one or two people that you can always speak out to. Another person I found a safe space in is my dad. My dad can chest anything. He might now go to as old as he is, he might now go back to his room and he now gets worried about it, but he will never show it to you. But also, if it doesn't have to be, we just all need that right person. Now, how do I find a safe space in my dad? He's my dad. I've seen, but does that mean that every dad is like that? No. Does it mean that every dad that's not like that a bad dad? No. It's just the time you spend, the conversations you've had, how comfortable how safe they've made you feel. So it's finding the right people it's most especially for men. I feel like having the right connection when you meet someone. It doesn't have to be your childhood friend. I've met a lot of people. I have a friend that we met just not too long ago, and we happily discuss a whole lot of things with each other. We do a lot of things together. It's because we've been able to find that friendship, that connection, that comfort, that safe space in each other. So I feel that's the way I have been able to, but it took me time to be able to open up to people like this. But for me, I would say my last vacation was a turning point. It was, I encourage, be men, be women, if you find the right people, I encourage people to do this and just speak out.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing so far. And I just want to ask this, and I know this is going to be subjective, like you said, and like most of the things that you've said already on this topic is, when you do get burnt, when you did get burnt, how did you recover from it? Did you ever recover? Do you recover from such a thing? Because it's easy for the reason some people are not, like, they've tried, they've been beaten, once beaten, twice shy, and they're like, never again will I ever. And that's like another level of, I won't call it deception, but it could also lead to deception, because when you have been burnt once, you're like, never again, and that could just spiral. So when you got burnt, or have you been in a situation where how did you navigate that being burnt? How did you navigate it?
Oh, well, I've been burnt quite a lot of times over time. And I would say that I've evolved over the years. The way I handled it some couple of years ago is not the way I handle it now. Right. In the past few years, if you get betrayed, you get upset, you get angry, you just want to, in some type of way, you just want to deal with it out of anger. But over time, you realize that life is not even what's being upset about a lot of things about anymore. I think the best way I handle betrayal is I diplomatically stay away from you. I am still your friend, but I am not your friend. It takes me very long time to cut people off. Very, very. But before you get to that point of me saying no to people, it's the bonds must have gotten to the extreme. So the way I deal with it is, I don't create enemies. No, I just believe that some friendship are not just meant to stay. Some friendship are not meant to last. I am only sure about myself of not to betray whatever trust you put in me. Like I always tell people, if you tell me something and you hear it from someone else, you are the one that told that person. So as long as it's about you, it's not about gossiping about someone, don't worry, you're safe. But I'm the first to go and report if you gossip someone about me, about someone to me. It's that one. I'll be the first to call the two of you that, about this guy said this one, or Alpha. But when it comes to giving people, for me, I think I've dealt with it in a way that I've been betrayed a lot of times. I to the point I have a tattoo of it about it here, about betrayal. A note about betrayal is here. So I just think the best way I've handled it over time is I just cut the person, no matter how close you are to me. I just respectfully. It doesn't have to be malicious. You don't have to create any enmity. You just have to respect people for who they are. Okay, you confided in me with some certain things. I went about to betray you about it. Okay. It is what it is. I'm not going to kill you for it. At the end of the day, you're only human. I move on, you move on. That doesn't mean I become your enemy, but that doesn't remain your friend. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be diplomatic about it. But that doesn't mean you need the help tomorrow. I'm in a place to help you. And I will still say no, especially when it comes to matter of life. But when it comes to personal relationship, hasta la vista.
Ebenideri. Yeah, him, your
Because
they
always tell you that every betrayal you face in this life is your fault. Anything anyone does to you, you have a hand in it. If someone does you wrong, your hand there. You have a hand in it. So first of all, look inward and like, okay, let me tell you about my matter now. Abi, talk. If that is the case, I have to know how to handle myself. But that doesn't mean I'll become your enemy. But that doesn't mean that I will see you dying of help. Especially when it comes to matter of life. Anything that has to do with matter of life, and we know you carry a matter reach that one. But we can be friends from a distance.
From a distance, just make a day my own. I love it. One last thing before I pass on the mic to whoever wants to pick up the mic is to say that when you look at all of this talk about breaking the silence and speaking up, how do you combine that with personality types? Because for extrovert and introvert, for introvert already, they are very quiet, they keep to themselves, that's how they are. So how would you speak to personality types in this kind of case?
Trust me, introvert or extrovert, we all need to speak out at some point, though. When matter touch you, when you listen, honestly, I know introverts, extroverts, people's personality. Of course, we have to respect it. A lot of people remain private about a lot of things that you have to respect. But at the end of the day, we all need to find a way to speak out. Mental health is not a joke. It's not a respecter of an introvert or an extrovert. But I feel like people's personality, it still goes down to finding the right people around them. If I know your personality, I should be okay enough to know when you are not okay. If I know the kind of person you are, there is no way you're meant. And you know what makes this thing even crazier? They said the most depressed people are the happiest people. If you don't know people's personality deeply, it's very hard to decipher that, hey, something is wrong with this person, because look at the statistics of people that have committed suicide the most. They will say, oh, but this guy is always appearing looking happy, and this guy is always looking good. So people's personality, it's important that we get you will find the right people. The right people knows the kind of personality that you have, and they are able to. I mean, I have friends that if we don't speak for 3 weeks, we know we are okay. I know he's okay, Jerry is just busy. But I have friends that if we haven't spoken in 3 days, then I know there's a problem. Yeah, you just know. So it's knowing people's personality is just to find the right people that care about you, that you know, and you know you care about. It's mental health is not irrespective of an introvert or an extrovert. It's not. Nobody should die in silence because I don't like to speak out. I don't like to go out. I'm an indoor person. I'm a myself person. I don't speak out. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't find that one person that you can, maybe an accountability partner, maybe someone that you know that you can trust, that everyone needs it. It's not about, but you have to be around the people that actually know you, to understand your personality, and to be able to look out for you and say, oh, Omo,
something is off.
You're not looking good. Oh, I know. I know some people that when I see them, I know that without, even if they are appearing happy, I know things are not doing, that things are not okay. Right. I know a few people that also knows me deeply to understand that this man,
something is
everything
wrong.
Okay? You know that question of, I was watching a video. They actually asked this guy if he was okay. Yeah, he said, I'm okay. No, are you really okay? Then he started crying. You see that, are you okay? Sincere, are you okay question. It goes a long way. It goes a really long way. Just reaching out to people. I do it a lot with a lot of people around. We don't talk often. I just reach out to that. Oh, I just want to check. Are you okay? It's not like I'm trying to force you to say anything to me. No. But it's just for you to know that, listen, if you want to talk, please speak out, because I also have mine that I'm dealing with. And I know everyone have theirs they are dealing with. So personality is not, for me, it's just being around people that actually understand you, finding the right people that you know that, you know what, if I raise one finger like this, they know that, hey, this is me. But they are very rare to find. Very rare.
Wow. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, you've shared such rich responses today as on the matter of breaking the silence and finding the courage to speak up. Scott, do you have any final words as we begin to wrap up this session?
Well, I would say that to a very large extent, it lies on every one of us to actually bring this to life. Yeah. Because like we've heard today, and from a personal perspective as well, I would say the issue of trust, is why majority of men, just like Mr. Boson has also said, we all have the responsibility to have, to have, to be trustworthy, to have high level integrity, such that the man beside you, the person beside you, can find you worthy of being, can find you worthy of opening up to, can find you worthy of, actually talking to you, actually pouring out their mind to you, to let you know that, man, I'm not okay. This is what is going on, you see. And at the same time, it also still falls on us again to be, to be vigilant of ourselves. The person in your circle, the person in your corner, whom okay, is laughing, is playing, is looking good and all. Stop once in a while to say, man, how's it going, man? How's it really going? How are you? So we as a people, collectively, we have a lot of work to do when it comes to breaking the silence. The person who is bearing the burden, yes, has the responsibility to speak up. But then when this man does not find a safe space around him, he's most likely not going to. He's just going to continue testing it. And I think when you look at the statistics of people who have actually given up, it is largely because they either couldn't find someone to speak to, or they didn't even think they will be heard when they do.
Yeah.
You see? So by every means, we all have to, make it a thing to open ourselves up to people, show enough care, show enough support, and like we say, be your brother's keeper, you see? So I think when we begin to put this in order, things will begin to, a lot more men will be able to break the silence, will be able to speak up even better, And when someone opens up to you, don't do with it what they've told you not to do. Don't do with it what they've told you not to do,
Even to their presence, even,
Yes.
so, not even in front of them. The fact that someone tells you something, sorry to cut you short, Scott. The fact that someone tells you something and you have an argument between the two of you doesn't mean you should relate whatever it is, the situation between you both, to whatever they've told you. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see that, if I could have a grudge with you and you could bring this up in the middle as just to validate or a point for yourself. So if you could do it with my front, so what happens behind me? And this happens a lot. It happens a lot. We are all human. Then you come around an apology after doing something deliberately. I'm sorry. Sometimes doesn't heal a situation. No, it doesn't. It breaks at that point that someone became vulnerable to you, and because of something, one thing or the other, you bring it up and weaponize it. The person goes back to their shell, and they will promise themselves that I'll rather die in silence.
Yes. True.
Than speak to this person. Now tell me, how does that person trust the next person?
True. Because it has even taken him a lot of courage.
It takes him a lot. And one thing about men is, you see, if you come up to someone and you ask them sincerely how they are, trust me, there's a high chance they're going to speak out. Because a lot of people hardly, you see, that's checking up, that question alone goes a lot. Goes a long way. So most importantly, we need to create a safe space around. We need to keep our integrity in check. We need to make sure that, if you trust me enough to tell me this, you trust me enough to protect it with all my dignity and integrity. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Boson, for such a rich conversation, and from sharing from your own experience. And I think, this is just, I hope that men would listen to this and find those people that you are able to open up to. And like Scott said, let all of us do better.
All of us.
As men,
All
as
of us.
women, let's do better. Let's give people the opportunity to open up to us, and let's maintain that confidentiality that comes with them opening up to us, so that we can have more people opening up, and we can have this shared responsibility to ensure that all of us are keeping each other okay. And that's so beautiful when you said be your brother's keeper. Little wonder that's a rule, and that's a that's a law, like, you know, be your brother's keeper. All right. And that's one way to be it. Be empathetic, be open, but at the same time be protective of whatever it is that is said to you. Don't use it against them, and don't spread it around. Thank you so much for sharing today. Finally, as I wrap up, Scott is going to close out the session because I need to jump out now. But I want you to use this opportunity. Now that we have you, I have your attention. Please do your own. Give us a message for the 60 for Men challenge. Do your own recording now.
I was planning to do a video. I was planning to do a video today,
oh yeah, please do a video. Okay.
I'll do the video. I'll do the video for sure. I'll send the video across.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just going to find time to sit down somewhere and just do it. Please, I was trying to do it yesterday, and the calls keep coming on.
Kai, please, we're really
I
expecting
promise.
it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This is a topic that's really important, and I'm so happy that you guys got on this. I appreciate the fact that you guys are doing this. It's you guys don't know what you are doing, honestly. I watch all the videos that you guys have done. And I'm amazed at the work that you guys are putting in. Trust me, you don't know who these videos are getting to and it's changing their lives. You don't know these conversations that we're having. You don't know who needs it at this time. I've seen people write me when I say something. Sometimes I've seen people text me from nowhere that, oh, thank you for sending these reels to me. I needed this at this time. And that's the same thing. Scott said something now that people are also sharing the videos.
Right.
Honestly, you guys are doing a whole lot, and you might not know. A lot of people might not even speak about it. A lot of people might not even give you feedback. But the turning point that this is creating for someone out there, you have no idea. And I just want to say thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, despite the fact that guys are miles away and you guys are still bringing it together. I really wish we can do this, sitting down somewhere and just talking all day.
I know.
And just to add to what you said, we at Your Voice, Your Impact, we are taking this a notch further. Actually, we are taking this a notch further. EJ, have we announced it yet, or it's still cooking?
We did yesterday, but you can go ahead and announce it. I'm going to leave you in peace and in love, but I need to jump out. But please close out the session.
All right, sure thing. Thank you, EJ. So we are, like I was saying, we are taking this a notch further. We are, as we are bringing the awareness to this very important topic that doesn't get spoken in, that doesn't get discussed enough. We are also going further to partner with psychologists and psychotherapists. So for every man who is going through a tough time, who is not finding people to talk to, who needs help, but is not getting enough help, we are bringing psychologists and psychotherapists on board. Between now and next month, they will be providing slots for people to come on board and speak to them for free. It's for maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but we're going to share more details on that, I think, within by weekend, so that we don't only just create the awareness, we also provide solution and support from our end. So this is also coming up, and Mr. Olatubosun Fatoki from myself and my guy, let me leave formality on the side, guys.
We know how after this place, we know where we are going.
We go catch for junction. Anyway, my dear brother and friend, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'll be here anytime you guys call.
That's so wholesome to hear. Thank you for the support. Thank you for coming on board, and thank you for sharing your experiences and Yes, to our viewers, thank you also for joining, and we'll see you again on the next episode. Till then, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you.